What is up, the Science Flipping podcast family? I'm super excited about this. There's a lot of different verticals in real estate, and you can pick and choose your lane. And this is a lane I've been well aware of. I myself don't do it, but I do believe more people need to be doing ADUs, efficiencies, call it what you will. My boy, the expert in ADUs, Kevin Trinh is here. What's up, dude?
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me here, dude.
This was a long fight to make sure that this worked out, but I'm glad you made it to Miami.
Yeah.
And couldn't be happier. So let's dive in.
Yep.
First of all, I want everyone to know where to find you all over social media. So give the handles on where to find you.
Yeah, on Instagram, the Kevin Trinh, Facebook, the Kevin Trinh. We also have the ADU Mastermind in San Diego. So if you guys are looking forward to learning more about the ADU games, then reach out to me. All right.
Yeah. So let's talk about ADU. Some people maybe not even heard of it, right? They fix and flip or they buy rentals. So they may not be that familiar with ADUs. What are ADUs? What are efficiencies? Like,
So
what is this?
you're right, man. There's a lot of real estate play out there. You already know, brother. But ADU is one of the new trends, right? It's the revolution right now in the real estate investing market. So ADU basically allows you to put a casita or a small unit in the back of a property, right? Existing property. So you're allowed to buy a single family and then get permits and add on an ADU, which is anywhere between the size of 800 to 1,000 square feet in the backyard. This allows you to really spike the equity and create massive cash flow, right?
So out of the gate, couple questions. Do you need to have a certain size lot?
Mhm.
So I'm sure there's certain rules. So I want to get into kind of the rules of the game because I
Yeah.
think some people watching this like, oh, I just want to do an ADU,
Yeah.
and then they're not aware. How big does a lot have to be? Like, what's the minimum lot size?
So the minimum lot size at least needs to be about 5 to 6,000 square feet.
Okay.
And the reason being is that there is a floor area ratio that you need to understand, right? Most of the time it's 0.5. In San Diego, you can get up to 0.65, so a little bit more. You can use up more space. That allows you to build more units, essentially.
So you could put an ADU on. So when you say 6,000 square foot lot,
Yeah.
that means there's already a house and you build an ADU. Is that what you're
Correct.
saying? On
Yep.
a 6,000 square foot lot?
Yeah, most of these houses are only 1,000 square foot that we're looking at, right? So, understanding the buy box criteria will really give you the ability to build and, add these ADUs in the back.
So being from California, like San Diego, Southern California, this is very, very common. Northern California, maybe not as much.
Yeah.
But you're right. When I think about like LA, so I went to UCLA,
hmm
I think about all the homes that are the main home before someone like yourself would maybe put in an ADU. Main home's only like 1,000 square feet.
Yeah,
Usually,
brother.
typically.
Yep.
Right. And so you still have this 5,000 square feet or more
Yeah.
that you can do. Now, does the ADU need to have any level of a driveway, or does that not
So
matter?
the simplicity of an ADU, this is why it's so popular. No parking requirements, very minimal restriction. Setbacks are usually still that 4 or 5 feet range you need to have
Okay.
between the properties. And then the one thing that you truly need to understand is that you got to find properties that is in the right location.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, what happened, and I see this all the time, people's like, oh, I can build an ADU spike equity, create great cash flow, and they go and buy in the D neighborhood.
Yeah.
Bro, that's not the way to play it. So
Mhm.
you still need to understand the strategy behind it and get, in the right location to
What's
really
your strategy?
always buy in the B to C neighborhoods.
Okay.
Right.
Never A either.
Never A either.
Okay.
Right. A gives you a lot of problem when you're adding these ADUs. The
Because
neighbors
the
don't.
city, the permits and all that.
No, it's actually more on the neighborhoods, bro.
Oh yeah. The neighbor doesn't want to hear.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so more neighborhoods, less headache if you get into, the B's and the C's. The D's won't spike the equity that much, and then you won't get great cash flow from the rentals.
Yeah.
Right. But this is something that I think that a lot of real estate investors don't truly understand is that, like you mentioned, real estate, there's so many different verticals, different plays out there, right? You just gotta understand, you gotta be hyper local.
Yeah.
You understand your market, right?
Yeah.
So ADU is really good on the West Coast. It's grown popular in the East Coast. It's not too popular in the central of the United States yet, right? So, most of the time it's multifamily in Dallas.
It's funny. It's I do a lot in the central, southeast,
Yeah.
right? So North Carolina all the way through like
Right.
Florida, Alabama. I feel like those areas are prime for this type of business model.
It's getting there.
Is there a reason you wouldn't want to do it? Like, is there a
I think because when ADU was created, they were created in a sense to relieve some of that affordability issue.
sure?
And affordability issue most of the time are in the dense area. So SoCal, Seattle,
Yeah.
you know, New York is another problem right now, so it's growing over
Is
there.
that why you're going to New York?
Yeah.
Business opportunity?
Business opportunity, brother. So, we're always looking at markets to see where we can grow and scale,
Yeah.
always. I started off doing ADUs in 2016, right? Background is that I'm a contractor.
Okay.
So I have a GC trade, right? 20 years in the industry. Been building ADUs since, forever. So ADU has been around since 1983 in California for a lot of people who don't know this. But because of the affordability issue, they took that play and then gave it to the public, and streamlined the whole process
Yeah.
where you can get permit in 6 months, get this thing built.
So is that fast in your opinion?
Oh, yeah,
To get the permit or to get it built?
to get it permit. And even built, it's another, 4 to 6 months to build after that. So
So within a year or so, you
Yep.
should be able to have not just the permit, but the actual
the
structure.
actual structure up, and you can add easily 2 to 3 units on a basic ADU play.
Okay, so when you say units, 2 or 3 different ADUs.
So one building, right, which is about 1,000 square feet in SoCal, I'm giving you an example in SoCal. Yeah, you're able to add a 2-story, 1,000 square feet in the backyard, right? That gives you the ability to split it up to be 1 unit on top, 1 unit on the bottom.
Two separate entrances.
2 separate entrances. And then now you can also take the garage and turn that into a JADU play. So now you can essentially add 3 units on a single family property.
Gosh darn it. Now so this is why I love my podcast, right? And now you're making me think about my rentals and I'm like, can I add an ADU? Can I make more money? Can I, and
Yep.
so, even the ones, man, this is such a cool thing. Are you aware of, and you may not be, like, are you aware of any like states that restrict this play or that it's not legal?
I would say that I'm not aware of any states that are not restricting the play. I would like to say that they are not, they don't have a statewide rule and guideline to build ADUs.
Okay.
So certain local city and, are having problem with being consistent on the ability to what you can actually build.
So talk to the city, talk
Correct.
to, the county.
Yeah.
See what their laws and rules of the
Correct.
game.
And right now there's about, 10 to 12 states that allow it statewide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but primarily the play is really in the dense area.
Can you list off a couple of those states just so people know? Obviously
For
California.
sure, the whole West Coast.
I was gonna say the
Yep.
whole literal West Coast,
Yep.
Washington,
Oregon, California. Texas is getting on board with it.
That's cool.
Yep. Florida for sure.
Yeah.
New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts. So
Okay.
some of these states are East Coast, West Coast, and it's starting to trickle into the inner cities, interstates. But it's taking some time. There's
Jokingly, I said you're going to New York for business, but are you?
part of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So you're expanding over into the East Coast?
Yeah, we truly want to see how we can grow this play into newer markets, right? Because that's one of my other business models in real estate. It's not just building these ADU to buy and hold and create a legacy, but we're trying to look how we can scale. And what we've been doing and working with the boardroom, right?
Yeah.
Is we're trying to figure out a different place. So we would buy these property, get them all entitled, and cherry pick the ones we want to keep and build and hold,
Yep.
and then sell the rest and title flip them.
I
So-
love that play. Cause that is just like well, the entitlement play on like apartments is huge.
It's huge right now, yeah.
Huge. Or even big developments,
Yep.
or like DR Horton won't buy that piece of land, but if you go buy the piece of land, get it entitled, you can sell it to DR Horton at a massive
Because
premium.
you take away their pain point, which is getting entitlement done, years and years of holding costs and all that stuff, right?
That could be a huge play for you.
But in the ADU space, it's a lot shorter time frame, and so your holding cost is not that much.
Yeah.
And then you can flip these back out for investors who are truly, want to start an ADU but don't know the process.
Well, so what is your business model? Like, why would someone want to do ADUs? What is the right business model? Maybe what is the wrong one? Or what is, like you just said, like,
Well-
there's even an entitled play, which I didn't even think of, but like, what's the traditional business model for an ADU? Just
The
more
traditional
rent?
model is just people buy single property, they value add it like a Burr model, right?
Yeah.
So I like to call it the Burr model on steroids.
Sure.
Pretty much that's what it is.
Yeah.
You buy a single property, you rehab it, you value add it, you spike the equity, and then either you sell it or you hold it and then rent it out. But in this case, because of the multi-unit that you're adding on, you're able to cash flow greatly on these. And dude, equity doesn't pay the mortgage, cash flow pays the mortgage, bro.
That's right.
So understanding that right there will give people the understanding of using the ADU so that they can build the great cash flow.
Do more people go into this short-term rental type play where this is, they
Yeah.
use the ADU more
Well,
almost like a
so-
short-term rental?
Correct. So I have some old clients, past clients of mine, where we built ADUs for them, and they use the front house, the main house, as the short-term rental. The other 3 units just to cash flow.
So you said 3 units.
Yeah.
How do you get 3 units out of it?
So again, most people would buy the single family
Yeah.
right, on a 6,000 square foot lot, and they would build a attached or detached ADU in the back, 1,000 square foot, 2 stories. So
you have 2 units.
500 to 600 each square foot on each floor, and then you convert the garage into a JADU play.
Yeah.
So that gives you 2 plus 1 in front.
What is it? What JADU?
Yeah, junior dwelling unit.
Okay. So you just convert the garage.
Yep.
You put a big. So when people think about safety or whatever, you just put a big bolt on the door, or do you wall it in?
We wall it in.
You wall it in.
Yeah, so take the garage door out, put in a wall, give it a separate entrance.
And there's no entrance into the main. That gets walled in.
That's correct. Everything is walled in. So
man, you are literally. I love doing this podcast because I always go, God, that's so brilliant.
It is, man. You know, they're
Brilliant.
There's
Now you're coming from the contractor side of it to start.
correct.
Now you're an investor, but you're also a contractor that knows how to get through the city and get the
Correct.
permits. Now that is a unique perspective itself. So you mentioned it prior. You have a mastermind. What do you call the mastermind?
ADU Mastermind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in this, first of all, go check out the mastermind. Is there a website or anything?
We're still working on it. We're revamping it, but it should be out in a few weeks.
Just hit them up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Let them know that you're interested. I mean, I'm freaking interested. So, come from the contractor perspective. What's needed here? Do we need to make sure there has to be a full bath, right?
So most
we
of
don't
these
need parking.
No, don't need parking.
But you do need a full bath. What else? Do you need segmented bedrooms? Can they be studio size?
Oh yeah.
or-
Oh yeah. I mean, some of these we have. They're actually 2 1s or 2 2s, which is 2 beds and 2 baths, full baths. The studio is a garage conversion that we do turn into a JDU. Still has a 1-1, which is a 1 bath, 1 full bath and 1 bedroom, and a small kitchenette, so like almost like a studio.
Oh my gosh. So would you encourage an investor like me? I have a rental portfolio. To go look at that portfolio and think about whether an ADU play would work?
So this is
Or do
my
you want to go out and look at a blank canvas and say, okay, I'm going to buy this home. It's a blank canvas.
The way I look at it is this: if you have a portfolio already, right? And as a real estate investor, we're always looking to change up the portfolio to see how we can better it, right?
Sure.
How we can better the cash
Make more
flow,
money.
make more money.
100%.
Correct. And so you would look at the portfolio and see, okay, some properties that aren't doing too well, you would dispose those out. Go buy into a property where you can add these ADU plays and then spike the equity, and then over 20 years, you know that shit's gonna go up
Crazy.
tremendously.
Crazy.
Yeah. Right now, I'll give you an example.
And your pay down on the loan is going to be so fast.
Correct.
Now, can you get a construction loan for the ADU?
Yes. And well, yes and no.
Okay.
So here's the tough part that I went through the phase of failing a couple of times. In the state of California, I can't speak about other states, but in California, when we're adding these ADU plays, right? In the beginning, we only had the basic 1 ADU, 1 JADU play, and then getting construction loan is easy because it's below 4 unit count.
Okay.
It's not commercial yet.
Yeah.
In San Diego, we have something called the bonus program that allows you to put up to a maximum of unlimited unit count as long as it meets the FAR requirements.
Yeah.
So people were adding on 10, 15, 20 units in the backyard. Yeah, brother. I mean, it's getting reformed now, so we can.
That's too much. That's like an apartment.
It is apartment.
Yeah.
But so you can put it on up to 6. And the problem is that when you go get a construction loan, the lenders are playing this as a commercial play now. And that makes getting a construction loan for it a lot harder because they can't comp the ARV on these ADU units.
Right.
They don't know what it costs. So that's the tough part about the ADU play in the very beginning because there's no true track record for it yet. Right. It's only been around since 2016.
And that's why when you say there's markets, like, so we'll look, because we do a lot of marketing in that Southeast region. You go into a market like the state of Alabama and there's no comps for any of it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so difficult. Because I come across homeowners who they have basically an ADU play and they're trying to sell it for a premium. And when you go try to comp 2 properties on one lot, borderline impossible because it's not popular there yet. Like there's nothing else around.
Yep.
So it's
hard to get
cash flow
lending
play. You just
Correct.
you have to say, okay, is this a good investment or not?
Correct.
But the way I look at it, so you can use a HELOC to build this.
Sure. Yes.
You could use a construction loan for the most
correct.
part. And then you have just like double, triple, or quadruple the pay down of your loan.
Pretty
So
much.
I look at real estate kind of with the 4 legs, right? So you have depreciation for the tax write-off, you have income from the rents, then you also have appreciation of the market.
Yep.
And then you have principal buy down.
Yeah.
Principal buy down with the ADU play, I think, is
It's the big one.
big one.
And the big thing that now that you're mentioning about lending, talking about that a little bit, the beautiful part is that the government, it essentially is going to get into backing up these ADU loans. So they're in the talks right now, and I've been discussing with Tim Heritage.
Yeah.
And we're looking at things like, if governments are going to back these loans, we can potentially go out and lend to ADU investors in the future as well. That's a big play, bro.
Huge, dude.
Give you a context of how
Tim's the right guy to be talking
he is
to, right?
Yeah, I love Tim.
Yeah.
To give you some perspective, the ADU space has grown 15,000% since 2016.
50,000.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man, how much growth it's hitting right now. And to give you some also other ideas of what they're comping right now for, in SoCal, one of these units can comp for around 400,000 or 500,000 a unit. In Seattle, these guys are comping around 700,000 a unit, brother. And it only costs them to build 300,000 to build.
So what is it, as a contractor, what's the cost per square foot? Now, I understand California versus Alabama is probably different.
I like to give the price range an average of how much it costs to build overall.
Yeah.
Because square footage is depending on location. Right?
That's right.
So overall, I would like to say that if you were to build one unit count, right? A unit is like a 600 square foot unit, right?
Okay.
Costs about 150 to 180,000. Now, one ADU, 2 units in the back, it's going to cost you about 300 to 400,000. But you're making 400,000 spread on these, dude.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Because it gives the appreciation.
Correct.
So that's where in markets that you might be in that's not California, not Oregon, there's not as much historical data. So you got to be a little more patient there.
Correct.
If you're going to do it, my opinion or thought, and I'd love to hear your perspective, if you're going to go do the ADU play in markets that are not as familiar with it, be ready to probably hold it for the 10-year run more than a 5-year run.
And what we're talking about with people who are in markets that is not ADU ready but is soon to be, we would tell them to look for property that has potential and just buy and hold like as if you were to rehab, fix and flip and hold.
That's right.
And then just be patient, like you said.
Patient.
It's gonna come. When it comes, you're ready for this play.
Well, and the principal buy down for 10 years.
Yeah, bro.
Like when you do want to exit, oh my God. Like I love this. This is, make sure you're reaching out to him. So there's so many other like dynamic ways to look at this. So we went over cost. You need full baths. You don't need parking.
Yep.
You can construct it essentially, whether it's 2 bed, 1 bed, studio. You can construct it however you want.
Yep.
The real upside is the rents. What else am I not thinking about the ADU play? Like
the simplicity of it, bro. I mean, it's so simple. You're talking about, ground up construction, right? Development. Most of these multifamily would take years to get done and stabilized, right? This is something you can do in a year.
Yeah.
And if you have the means for it, you can do multiple of these properties. So like me, we will look at doing 5 to 6 a year built wise. And title wise, we would look to do entitle about, 20 to 30 or even 50
and
properties.
sell it off.
And sell it off.
And you would sell it to people like me, or do you sell it to institutions? Who do you sell that to?
We sell it to mainly investors, right?
Someone like myself that
someone like
interested
yourself.
and I don't want to deal with it.
Correct.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to deal with the pain point of going through the entitlement process.
And so when you're finding a property and you say, okay, there's room for the ADU, you essentially buy it and know out of the gate your intention when you buy that is to go get it entitled.
That's correct, brother.
So do you remodel the front?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I always look, when I look at these is the fix and flip look.
Okay.
Can I rehab the front, value add there first?
Right.
Then I look at the backyard.
Okay.
Can I build the ADU back there? Can I convert the garage into a JADU?
Yeah.
How many units can I put on this thing? All right. I know I'm going to make money. I just want to know how much and how I can optimize the build to the square footage I want, right? Then from there, we would go into purchasing the property, get entitled. Entitlement process takes about 6 months. After it's entitled, then we look at our entitlement portfolio and see which one we want to keep and build and hold, which one we want to just dispo it out. And so after that, we would have both sides of the play, right? So it's
is there an underwriting model that you look at that would be any different than like the Burr model or just a simple rental model? Is it just the same?
It's almost the same. You just have to look at a few different things. When you're underwriting a deal for construction for an ADU, you have to take into consideration because you're able to tie into the existing infrastructure, but there's still upgrades you got to do. Upgrades meaning to the water line, the electrical line. So if you're adding 4 units, you gotta, raise the panels, right, into a more voltage to
Mm.
have more capacity to supply power to
And those panels,
back
you're
unit.
talking about electrical on the
Correct.
actual pole, electrical pole
Electrical
panels?
pole.
Yep.
Or if it's underground, you gotta go into the
Underground, yeah.
underground. So you gotta look into those perspective. And the other also things that I look at is that if it's a flat lot or if it's on a hillside. Most of the time, if it's on a hillside, I don't even bother.
You're out.
Yeah, I'm out
Yeah.
because the construction that the time that I need to do on the yep.
And put the retaining walls,
Retaining walls
the
up.
whole thing. It's
Correct.
a nightmare.
Yeah. Nightmare.
You brought up the point of electrical. So how do you get all the plumbing? Is that just you dig deep and do you pull the plumbing from the main house? How does all that work?
So
Because
the
going to a backyard essentially that shouldn't usually
Yeah.
have much plumbing or if any plumbing,
correct.
has no electrical tied in. So you're starting from scratch.
You're starting from scratch, but you're taking from the front. So what I mean by that is that even though you can't tie into the house itself, the sewer line, you can go to the front right where it meets the city street.
Okay.
From there, you tie
You
it
can
back
pull.
in. Yeah, pull it from there and go all the way back.
Okay.
So you kind of don't have to go to the city and take less of that work out because
Yeah.
if you were doing ground up construction for a multifamily, bro, it's heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
And I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
It's
It's a
a
heavy
lot.
lift.
Yeah.
The rental model tends to be, we kind of talked about it, and I think we went left.
Yep.
The rental model for the ADU is more traditional long-term. Is it usually short-term? Is it midterm? How does rental midterm?
Yeah.
So would that
I think
be
it's also market, but midterm and market.
midterm? Yeah. So, but it is market, right? So like, you probably don't see much in Arizona. Do you see much of this in Arizona?
It's not growing yet.
Yeah.
It's getting there, but it's just
I'm
not,
glad
it's
your
not that
Texas is
popular.
doing it.
Yeah.
What about Vegas?
No, not yet.
No.
Yeah. The market is still too soft over there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I say that because like, obviously I built my career in Phoenix and
Yeah.
now I live in Miami, but
Mhm.
traveling nurses were a big play in
Yeah.
Phoenix for a long time.
Oh, for sure.
I would assume these ADUs, and again, but for those of you that maybe still don't recognize the term ADU, casitas, your nanny's house, like
Yeah.
that's all we're talking about
Yeah.
is building a smaller secondary home on the property, right? So ADU is just the formal way of describing that.
Yeah, it stands for accessory dwelling unit. Basically, that's what it means.
And I didn't accessory dwelling unit. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And so that's all we're talking about.
Yeah.
Granny unit, right? So you would maybe target that kind of, might
Yeah.
there for 30 days, 60 days
Yeah.
type of thing, not long-term, not short-term.
And that's the beautiful part about adding multiple units, right? You can actually play it out in different ways.
Yeah.
You can do 1 unit for short-term rental, 1 unit for midterm rental, 2 units for long-term rental. So you can diversify how you want to play these units out.
Now, how do you compare this? The big craze right now, and this is why I want to lean into ADUs. The big craze is this pad split idea.
Mm.
How do you compare this to that? Like, what are your thoughts? Maybe you haven't thought too much about it.
Pad
But
split
everyone's
is-
like taking a house and like building 8 bedrooms
Yep.
in a home and tearing down the walls. Concept similar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it as much. I don't like it. Like, I just don't. So for me, I think the institutional funds
Mm-hmm.
will find an ADU more appealing to invest in.
Yep.
Than a home that is 2,000 square foot that has 8 bedrooms in it.
Yep.
That's me. I don't know that to be true. There's no historics behind either. There's no historicals.
Here's the big difference that the long-term play that maybe will help answer that for you. So what you're talking about is cramming multiple rooms into a square footage space, right? And just trying to get rentals.
Yeah.
Cash flow. The ADU play eventually, what's happening even right now, is that they're giving you the ability to sell these units off like a condo. So not only are you value adding and spiking it in the equity side, eventually you're able to get parcels on these, condo map it, sell it individually.
Holy moly.
So you have multiple exit plays on the ADU.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Now you can't maybe speak right now that everywhere would do this, but
No.
this is happening
It's
now
happening.
in California.
Seattle is happening.
Seattle.
Seattle people is already selling out there.
Oh my.
That's why their comps are so high on 1 unit, 700,000.
Yeah.
Because they're selling these right now, right? Condo map it, sell it out, or you can just hold it and rental out. California is happening already. San Diego is already buying into it.
Yeah.
So by next year, people are going to start selling their ADU
So
because of the affordability issue.
I think one of the questions people are listening is like, how do I do all this? Like, who would do that? Who's going to go to the city or the county to get it issued as a condo to sell it off? Now, would it be sold as like a TIC, a tenant in common? Like,
You will
No.
you need to create an HOA. I haven't gone through the whole full process yet
Okay.
because it's just starting to come down to San Diego.
Yeah.
But from what I know, that how it usually works is you get a condo map, you get HOA involved, create a HOA, and then it has shared water. Electrical is all separate. SCG&E is all separate, so you pay separate bills, and you would sell it off just like a condo, right?
Dude, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Like, you can't even really compare the two.
No.
I don't love the whole pad split concept. I get it.
I get it too.
Let's just say there's no real exit.
Correct.
You're just selling cash flow,
Pretty much.
and you're dealing with that many tenants. Now, all the gurus, and I love most of these guys that are selling this concept. I get it.
Yeah, man.
I just like, bro, I don't have any hair left to lose. Like, I don't need that many tenants
Yeah.
in one home
Correct.
that are going to turn over depending upon your business model. So I love this place. Same reason I like short-term rentals. I think short-term rentals had its moment in the sun.
It did, yeah.
I believe this could be the next wave of what needs to have
This
its
is
moment
the
in
next
sun.
wave, brother. This is the golden age, man.
Because this is, I mean, you are the only one I'm aware of, really. So you said Thatch is
Thatcher's doing it. There's other players out there who's, buying into the ADU play, especially in the dense area.
sure.
But, I've built over close to 100 ADUs by now, right? Just from clients and even for myself alone. So that experience alone, I mean, I don't know if there's people out there who's built this many, right? Compared to what I've been doing.
You built 180 ADUs?
I'll build over 100 ADUs, bro, because we've been building for clients since 2016. And then I stopped building for clients around 2021, 2022.
For yourself.
Trying to do myself. And the reason I did for myself is actually a pivotal moment in my life, right? Because we had some issues with construction and clients and all this stuff. You know how construction goes, bro. You went through that whole process.
I know how construction goes.
Yeah,
bro.
brother. And on our side, it's not because we did anything wrong to people.
Yeah.
It just happened to be that we grew so big that we couldn't control the scalability of it. We went from a team of 5 to 6 to 10, and we grew to a team of 70, doing so many ADUs every year, right? So
did it kind of crumble on itself?
it crumbled on itself.
And it's not a judgment play. So just so everyone understands, and what he's referencing to is I was very vulnerable at this last boardroom.
Yep.
I talk about having a 2024 that I lost $3 million. That's my money. It's investors' money.
Yep.
And what you went through in 2021, I think it was.
2021, 2022, yep.
I experienced, and I think you're going to agree with this, I experienced this just because I could do it doesn't mean I should have done it.
Correct.
Because there's a story that goes, there's two friends that have similar lots, same everything. They're going to build 100-story buildings on it. One guy starts running. He's up to like 60 stories. The other guy hasn't even started yet. This guy keeps looking at him. Why is this guy getting smoked this bad? Like, if they're buddies, they should. And next thing you know, a big storm comes. As we all know, there's always a storm.
Yep.
Storm always comes.
Always comes.
The guy who had, at this point, 10 stories, and the other guy had 60, the storm took down all 60 stories. This guy remained with his 10.
Yeah.
And the guy asked the other buddy, like, what were you doing this whole time? Were you even working? He's like, yeah, I was underground. I was going deep as I go up. So my infrastructure was deep
Solid.
as I go up.
Yep.
That story just epitomizes my struggles in 2024. I was running really fast because I was building up, but I damn sure wasn't building down.
Same with me, brother.
Yeah.
We were building up so fast. We look at this ADU play like this is the time, right? We had to go.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the great foundation we needed to be solid enough to grow this thing. And so that's why we crumble. And that's the other thing that I want to take this into the mindset for real estate investors that's getting into the ADU play. I mean, we all want that passive income, but passive income is not passively built.
Right.
It's passive when it's built.
That's right.
A lot of people don't realize that, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
And I would even make the argument, I don't think real estate ever, until you're at true economies of scale.
I know, bro.
I just don't, like true economies of scale. Then you could probably argue as passive.
Yep.
Anything under 100, it's just, there's no way.
There's no way, brother.
Dude.
You're still in the rat race. But again, everyone has a different end goal.
Yeah.
I have students who just want $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month in cash.
I love that, by the way.
And
sometimes I wish I was that guy.
I know, me
like,
too, brother.
I just like that.
I know. And for that's great. $15,000 a month, $20,000 a month requires maybe 3 of these properties with ADU plays, right? When you think about it.
Yeah.
So it's very doable when you look at that approach. You know, for me, my scalability and how I look at things is a lot more great, like you.
Yeah.
So definitely getting to that $100 million plus portfolio in the ADU space. and then just grow from there, man.
Just remember, build deep as you're building up.
That's right.
Everybody, Kevin Trinh, if you're interested in what we just talked about, which I'm incredibly interested in, you have a mastermind coming up, hit him up on Instagram. Kevin, is it just Kevin Trinh or the Kevin?
The Kevin Trinh.
I think I started that. Anyways. This guy's phenomenal. He's in my mastermind boardroom. It's really one of the smartest in the space. Comes with a contractor's license. Hit him up, ask questions. He is a genuine human being. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, brother.
Out, dude.
Looking forward to talking more about it on the next one.
100%. Guys, if you like this and you think a couple people need to hear this, please share this with your friends. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.